Hi guys. I want to preface this video with I love my dress and am over the moon about it. I think it's so gorgeous and I'm really glad I found it. Okay, so if you watched the video I put up about basically all of the details we had already planned about the wedding, I think I called it the lowdown. In it, I say that when I talked about the bridesmaid's dress, I said there was a little bit of chaos getting it, and I think I even mentioned the fact that after we had chosen it and totally fell in love with it, thought it was gorgeous, we were really happy to have all the girls wear that one, we ended up finding out it was going to get discontinued. Um, so I want to explain what all has happened with getting my dress and the girls' dresses. So we went to David's Bridal, and that's where we got my wedding dress and the bridesmaids' dresses. First of all, my wedding dress appointment actually was really fun. I only tried on like 3 before I chose mine and like fell in love with it, and I was really, really happy. I had pictures we had taken, and I was really, really happy. But things ended up starting to happen. First of all, when it comes to my wedding dress, they never actually measured me. They basically just went off of the sample sizes that I tried on and just guessed. And for anyone that knows anything about bridal shops, the sample sizes they have up till size maybe 10 at the biggest, probably. 12 would be pushing it to actually find a 12 they would have for you to try on. And because of that, those sizes get pulled and pulled, and there's no way they're the true sizes, that they have them marked as anymore, just because of how many different people try them on and what they do to try to fit them into it so they can get a good idea of what their dress would look like if they chose that one, like what it would look like on them. But that is what they went off of to size me, and my wedding dress ended up getting ordered in the wrong size. Go figure. So now to the bridesmaids' dresses, which is the part that was truly frustrating the most. If my dress being ordered a size smaller was the biggest issue, would not be as upset about it. It would still be something we had to deal with, and we're dealing with it. We're trying to figure out with a tailor how to make it work and stuff like that. So for the bridesmaids' dresses, I know Emily, my maid of honor, said, I'm not the biggest fan of David's Bridal and the things I've seen there from them for the bridesmaids' dresses. And I said, okay, well, if we go and we can't find anything, then I'm more than willing to look somewhere else. So we went and we tried some on. It was her and my sister-in-law, Gina, and my junior bridesmaid, Hannah. And so we all went and they tried them on. They fell in love with the dress I showed you guys, the black and white. Really, really pretty. And it looked great on all of them. So then we get up to the counter to try to order it, and we get told that they can't guarantee it unless it's at first they said, we can't sell this to you yet. We don't know if we can guarantee it for all the girls in your wedding party. And I said, what? Thinking, why would they even have them try it on? Like, why would it even be an option for them to try on if we're not going to be able to get it anyways? That made no sense in my head, and to this day, I cannot understand that theory. Like, oh yeah, we have all of these options in the store, and not making sure the ones you give to people that need more than that one you have available for them can get it before you even have them try it on. Like, that makes no sense in my head. Moving on. So then that happens, and the rule becomes we have to get it ordered as quickly as we can for all of the girls. All of the girls that are wearing it need to order it super fast. So Emily got hers that day. Destiny went a couple days later, I think, and got measured and then ordered hers online. And I called to try to make sure of where it was as far as us getting it, because it had been a few days and they said don't push it past very long. So I called and she said, well, certain sizes are now only available online, but they are still available online. So it would work for them to still be measured, but they would just have to order it online. So I said, okay. And I guess the size for Gina wasn't available online anymore. And she said she had one in store that was off the rack, but looked brand new. I said, okay, that's perfect. So over the phone, I gave the girl my mom's credit card information, and she was supposed to hold that one and process the payment, and that would be Gina's dress, and she just had to go pick it up. She even told me she can pick it up at any time. I said, great, awesome. So I bugged Gina to go get it. She never ended up getting it. So when it came time to pick my dress up, they said that mine was ready, so I called and I made sure they had Gina's and mine both ready to be picked up, because I finally just told Gina, okay, I'll go get it for you. I'll pick it up when I get mine. Not a big issue. Well, when I called to make sure, I'm really glad I did, they had sold the one for Gina and had no record of me making a payment over the phone. So then I had to track down one at another store, so it was the right size that she needed. And in total, I dealt with 3 girls that day. The first one said, oh, I see one in the system that is the right size that's at a store in Arizona. And I said, okay, and she put me on hold and was going to call the other store. Well, I had been on hold for like 5 minutes and the phone disconnected. I, trying to really just get it figured out, figured, okay, she tried to click back over from the store in Arizona and something must have happened and she accidentally ended both calls. Not a big issue. That happens. Like, that would have just been a total accident. Except I called back and the girl that answered said that the girl I had been talking to, her shift ended, so she left in the middle of being on the phone with me. So that's strike 2 in the story so far. Then the next girl does basically the same thing. The third girl kind of just didn't call me back like she said she was going to, and I waited till about 5 minutes before it closed, which should have been enough to at least get somebody on the phone to talk to. They put me on hold for 5 minutes and then said the store was closed and no one was there that could talk to me. Well, we figured it out. We got our dress. It's totally fine now. Except then when I went and picked up mine, I tried it on when I got home, and they had ordered me the wrong size. So that was my experience with David's Bridal. We now are going somewhere totally different for alterations because I honestly just don't want to have to worry about that again. And, I have to say, choosing the dresses was a very enjoyable experience. It was very fun trying on the dresses. It was, it was a really good time going to the store and doing that. But the customer service was terrible. And after my my aunt was sitting in the computer room listening to me talk to these girls at the store on the phone, and one of them tried to say, oh, it'll be a $15 shipping fee. I'm like, really? Because this was not my mistake. I realize it's only $15, and yes, it's only $15. In the grand scheme of things, that's not a big issue, except it was not my mistake. I gave the woman my mom's credit card information over the phone to pay for that dress. That dress should not have been sold. And after I spoke with all 3 of those girls on the phone, I The store was closed anyway, so it's not like I could have called back and tried to talk to a manager then. But the next day, I called that morning when I knew they would be open, and I said, I don't want to talk to anyone else. I just want to talk to a manager. And finally, the girl I ended up talking to, she even kept putting me on hold to go figure things and would come right back and say, okay, I've got it, and we're going to have it transferred so there won't be a shipping fee, and da-da-da, and it all ended up being figured out, and it'll eventually all work out and it'll be fine on the day of the wedding. But that's stressful. And the last thing a bride needs is to have the bridal shop make things more stressful by her not being able to trust they're going to come through with things. And that's why we chose to go to somebody else to do the alterations, because I honestly, especially with how complicated my alterations are going to be, I don't trust it. I don't trust it. And I had, before this, never heard of any bad experiences with David's Bridal. I had actually heard really great things about David's Bridal, and a couple of my friends went there for both their wedding dresses and the bridesmaids dresses, and I never heard a bad review about them at all. But I guess I'm the first of my friends to deal with this. But then when my aunt was listening to all of this, she even went to work the next day and was talking to her coworkers about it, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe what they were doing to Brooke. And they said they had heard horrible reviews about David's Bridal's customer service. Horrible reviews about David's Bridal's customer service. And I never heard any of that. I guess my aunt had. So that's it. That's the story of what happened. Once again, that being said, I actually had a great time picking out my dress and picking out the girls' dresses, and I'm really, really in love with my dress, and I'm really happy with it, and I'm super excited we were able to get the dress for the girls, and everything worked out. That was my experience. So, there you go. I'll see you guys for my next video. Bye!